Hello again, this is Madan. In this demo, we are going to add a new property to our pet model, and the new property will be helping us to track whether the user is selling their pet or not. So let's jump back to our code and let's open our pet model, and the new property that we are adding is to track whether the user is selling their pet or not. So let's do new property, and this property is type of boolean, and let's say it is selling, and let's give it a default value of false. So when the user create the pet, they are not selling their pet, but in future if they want to, then they can change the status, and the other visitors will see the status of the pet, and they get to know that whether the user is selling their pet or not, and they can contact the owner of the pet if they want to buy. So once we add the property, what we need to do is we need to generate the migration so that the corresponding column will be created in our database table. So let's open the terminal, view integrated terminal, and let's generate the migration. .NET EF migrations 8 is selling property added to pet. It's generating the migration behind the scene, and it's gonna take a while. Once the migration has been successfully generated, we need to run that migration against the database. So let's update the database. .NET ER database update. Let's give it a verbose switch to see what's going behind the scene. And our database has been successfully updated. We can verify that by going over to the database table, but you can trust me on this. The column it's selling has been successfully created on the database table. Now once we add our properties, now we can go to our view and display the current status of the pet, the current selling status of the pet. So let's head over back to our view and click on pet index, and then now we add a new property here in our table, and which will represent which will show whether the user is selling their pet or not. So pet dot, we have a new property, it's selling. So let's save this, and if everything has gone well, then we should see the new status here. Let's refresh our page, and now we have successfully added the new property to our pet. So at the moment, these pets are not in the selling list. So let's add the header here. Let's add the header, and let's say selling status, and now let's change the value of the false and true and false, and give the user a suitable message based on the true or false. So we can write the statement here. So if pet that is selling, we can write the conditional operator here, ternary operator. If the pet is selling, then we can give a message that user is selling the pet, selling. Otherwise we can say not selling. Let's save it and head over back to our browser, and now right at the moment the user is not selling their pet. So now we need to make changes to our, this is the public pet. Now we can add the property to our users private page, so we can go to the my pet and we can add the same thing here. Let's just copy this code from here, and let's head over to the my pets, and now we can add the new property here, and then let's add a heading here. Let's say td selling status, save it. After then we can also add that property, display that property in our details view. So let's say id of the pet, name of the pet, and age of the pet, and color. After that we can just paste what we have copied before, and let's put this in the paragraph tag. So this should show the status of our page in our details page as well. So let's click on the details, and here we got the error. So in this case we don't have a page, actually we have a model. So let's change it model, refresh. Now we have seen that the user is not selling their pet. Now again we can format it a little bit nicer, give it a heading, selling status, save it, and we have successfully added the new selling status properties to our pet model. And in our detail view here, I want to refactor this code because since we have used the same statement twice in our in a two place in the same view, so we should keep in mind that we should keep in mind, and we should always follow the drive principle, never repeat yourself. So I'm going to define a variable here. Let's define a variable at the rate variable if, let's say if exist equal to, and I just want to copy this code from here up to here. Let's copy this and paste it here. Now we can use this newly created variable in place of this long statement here. If exist, and same thing here. So say if exist. Let's save it, and let's head over back to the browser and see that if our change is still working. So let's click on home, click on the pet, and now we are still, our functionality is still working. Let's remove this pet from the watch list, removed, and let's go to the home and click on, and we get to see the watch list button here. So this is the end of this demo, and we will continue improving our project in another video series. So thanks for watching and have a good day.